BABATV. Every time fire. It's BABATV. Every time fire. It's BABATV. Every time fire. It's BABATV. Every time fire. Peace and blessings to the fam, every child, male, the woman. Reporting live from the land, coming with a plan. Black soldiers, unapologetically black with facts for ya. Bringing information you might want to stand closer. Exposure to knowledge, my other scholars like Sankofa. Being specific, futuristic, special visits to metaphysics. As Red Pill spits it, black fisted, many different minds to teach. Each one teaches to reach many minds in the streets, raising chakras in your dimension of consciousness. Power presentations are stimulating confidence. Cause in wartime, the enemy wants your mind. Wants you to be small time and your greatest of all time. The truth of triumph, we debunking lies. So subscribe to BABATV. Every time fire. Every time fire. It's BABATV.
So now we on the block. We went from uptown, upstairs to downstairs, right? So this Times Square, you know, it ain't nothing, man. But so we was talking about pre-dynastic Kemet. Tell me, Ned, what was it that made you want to work on Kemet being the black community?
What made me want to work on?
Yeah. Why did you reject Kemet, the black land?
Why did I reject it?
Yeah. Why did you reject Kemet, the black land, or work on black community? What was it, Ned? People want to know, huh?
Grammar.
It was the grammar that did it, right? And what was it about the grammar that made you see that it was what it was?
I'd say black community because the nut symbol is polysemous when it's used as a determinative. The meaning of it can mean community. The meaning of it can mean nation, as Reggie says. A lot of, even Dr. Cameron say nation. I say community. A community is a nation. A nation is a group of people. So I rejected because the grammar said that the adjective.
My dad says if y'all want to go up to
the adjective, all adjectives can be nouns. And the adjective qualifies the determinative or the classifier. So the nut symbol doesn't mean in its totality the ground or soil. The nut symbol can mean community. You can look up in any dictionary. So that's why we say black community. That's why I reject the black land theory and I had black community. Now for the collective noun, we already know why for the collective noun. The collective noun is a collective indicating a group of people. The adjective with the people's determinative, meaning black people, all adjectives can be nouns. And that's it in grammar.
Well, that's incredible. So you have done great work. You are the leader. You actually, if it was not for you, we would not have been actually able to isolate this point and actually put it out. And so that's why I'm so excited about your work and supporting your work and researching to help your work to give you some more primary. So I'm so happy about that. And then finally get you down to come to the Met and hang out with me. And we got a chance to see Old Kingdom, Middle Kingdom, Intermediate period, sorry, and Middle Kingdom. And a little, we didn't have too much time, so you know, you're interested. Why are you interested in the Old Kingdom? How come you're not as interested in New Kingdom like these other people are, where they source their information from the New Kingdom, from the later? Why are you interested in the older?
Because Dr. Joke speaks about Pharaonic. The Pharaonic period is from the old Egyptian period. That's what they call Pharaonic. They nicknamed it Pharaonic. So I'm interested in the origin, the beginnings of everything. So,
right.
Hey, Reggie, remember the inscription you sent me? Where Son Jetty, he said that we haven't called ourselves black, right? But the inscription you sent me of Pepe on Kim, he called himself black, correct?
That's correct.
All right, what period was that in?
Oh, that's Old Kingdom.
Okay. We go to the oldest, and before King War existed, we call himself black.
What's this whole fake thing about every time they say Kemet Tui, replacing it with Atrepus? What's that? Who does that? Who reads it as Kemet Tui and then replaces that with another Egyptian word? Who does that? If the metadata says Kemet Tui, when is Atrepus, which is Greek, attested? Because they actually use a Greek term. They don't even write They don't even write the Kemetic term. They write the Greek term. So when they say Kemetui, they say, oh no, Atrepus. And it's Greek.
Correct.
Whoa! Is that scholarship? When is Atrepus tested? And what's the relationship to Kimware and Kemet? Yeah.
Atrepus is not related to anything related to Kimware at all. Kimware means great black, and that's what it means. Atrepus means Atrepus, and that's what it means. And that's it.
Right, Atrepus is a temple. It's a temple that's in Kimware, that's in Kemet.
I agree, but it's not Kimware. Kimware means great black. Kimware means great black.
But it's a gnome.
Correct.
Correct. So it's a temple within that gnome in Kemet.
Yeah, but even if we go by the glyphs,
Yes,
we gotta translate according to the glyphs.
I agree. But one thing is that we can agree on, Atrepus is Greek, and you can't replace Kemetui with Atrepus.
You cannot.
And the Kemetic word for that Hawat, right? You should minimally replace it with that, but you can't do it because then you have to show where it's attested at that time. So,
right there.
that's the difference between pseudo-scholarship, pseudo-scholarship. With the minute that you replace an African word, right, even if it's transliterated, right, but you know what we're talking about, with a Greek word, Atrepus, you got problems.
You have problems.
You got problems.
All right. Listen what I'm saying, Bob. Atrepus, we know that it was a temple complex. But Atrepus did not exist in Old Kingdom.
So, so let's get back to the Orin Kemet. So, let's tie that in with the Orin Kemet. So these things are not attested to the Old Kingdom. So, what are they doing? Why are they trying to do a time warp? One thing means something, that's the name,
Correct.
but it doesn't mean that in Old Kingdom, right? And then again, the Hawat, the temple of the Ib, right? That the Greeks call Atrepus is not attested in the Old Kingdom, right?
Well, how can Kemetui or Kemetiu mean those of Atrepus when Atrepus doesn't even exist in the Old Kingdom?
So I don't know. But the worst crime is to replace in that book that they have, to replace Kemetui with Atrepus.
Correct.
That's the worst. Who does that? Right?
They got that from Faulkner and a European scholar, but we know that it's not accurate.
All right. So, now put the camera on me. Put the camera on me.
Gotcha.
Turn it around. You can see me. You can see me right here. Peace, fam. I got the Shaka Amos original shirt on. I just want to let everybody know it's one of my favorite shirts from Shaka Amos. Let me take this off, right? Right? This is Shaka Amos. I'm gonna take the Met thing off. Right? This is the original Shaka Amos shirt. Hopefully Shaka Amos and his Kemet program. He have a program on Kemet. will be talking about this subject coming up, right? We've had a great time in the Netherlands in New York, right? And we just having fun, thinking about things, showing people the big city. This is our background right here, big city, because we got to go back to the Port Authority and stuff like that. You know, I got different sides to me. People don't know. Yeah, I'm a comedic scholar. Yeah, but there's a reason why I'm a comedic scholar, and most of you do not know. It transformed my life from these streets, right? Because I'm from Bronx, New York, to the classroom, to the lecture circuit, to the presentations, right? Only to save my life because I'm a Kimitui. And then I learned how to value black life because I didn't know nothing about black life. So Kemet gives me a very rational reason to study because we haven't solved the problems that we've solved. We just had this congressional, what's that? Back. So we just had this whole congressional thing on reparations, and our people just don't really get it and understand that the majority of our people came to America after 1807 when human trafficking was made illegal. What does that mean? From 1776 to 1807, which is 30 years, the bulk of Africans did not come to this country. The bulk of Africans came to this country from 1808 after they ended the importation of slavery to 1865. Right? Our subject is not about slavery, it's about human trafficking. They don't have a just reason, a just war for Africans. Now, on the economic issue, they say slavery is too much in the past, but the European is still benefiting on the merits of slavery. These streets right here, these streets were built by slave labor. Just economics, America and the United States inherited an economic jump from our slave labor, from our captivity, right, under it. You cannot go for what they're pushing. Any of these groups of people are pushing that slavery is time barred and human trafficking is time barred. There is no black letter law on human trafficking. So why we do this work, why we study Kemet? Because Kemet means black community. God damn it. Ain't we part of a black community? For you people to say, oh, it don't mean black community. Well, God damn it, what do we call ourselves today? So, look, I'm a researcher. I signed on to support the great work of NILE. This is the big city of New York. You really want to come to the big city, right? Come to the big city, and guess what? We're not putting you on stage no more. We're not going to put you on stage no more. We gave you opportunity, right? You either didn't come, or you couldn't come, right? But, and then when you did come, you did easy for MC Square, which just has nothing to do with Kemet whatsoever. I'm telling you, our brother Reggie, check this out. If y'all don't know, you know, you're gonna know. If you ever present again, you're gonna be in the little rooms. You ain't gonna be in the big rooms. No big stage for you, right? I gave you the opportunity. I gave you, I supported you, right? I brought you into the museums. You got no records of being in the museum. I brought you in the museums, right? But then what you want to do now is that you want to spin, forget about me. You want to spin on my teachers. Dr. Ben, Dr. Dia, Dr. Obanga, and Dr. Ricchetti, who taught you to repeat the commoners, Medinecha. And some of you say, well, I ain't learned from Medinecha. I learned from Aunt Mira. Yeah, I understand. But you understand that they were brothers and sisters. So you can't pick and choose. Because guess what? They all taught what we teach, not what you teach. Right? So, there you go. So, Neb, he snuck into New York. He letting y'all see what New York is. You know, New York is a busy, busy place. You know, this is really a money town, a make money town, a think about money town, a spend money town. You know, do good things and bad things, but we spent our time today. We spent our time today in the museum, right?
Yeah.
That's where we spent our time. Hopefully, we can get our people to spend the time in the museum so they can understand the ways and means of life and stuff like that, and understand that the killing is black community. So, anyway, see y'all soon. This show will be aired on Per Netta Institute, right? Support Per Netta Institute because I support Per Netta Institute, right? And hey, look, you have a right to support whoever you want to support. But if you want primary information, it's in the museum. It's not in those books that they write. Peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, what we see in the museum, Ned, man?
You showed me archaic Egyptian,
Egyptian.
old Egyptian, old Medu Neter.
Yeah.
You showed me all the way up from the 5th to the 6th dynasty, all the way up to the 11th, to the 12th dynasty, to the Middle Kingdom, all the way up to the late, even up to the Nubian and Ptolemaic period.
How early was ancient Egyptians writing, Ned?
Up to Dynasty 0 to Dynasty 1.
Dynasty 0. So they was doing sentences,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
And that's attested.
Correct.
That's right. And what do we see? What do we see? We saw cylinders.
We seen cylinders. You showed me cylinders. You showed me clay impression. If that's the correct.
Yeah. There's cylinders on the clay impressions, right? Right. And we also saw some a lot of pre-dynastic stuff, right?
Yeah.
Uj stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So what do you think about what do you think about other people's work? What did some other people say when Egyptians started writing? What did they say?
Well.
I mean, we don't have to mention their names. I mean, they're not even important to mention their names. Was it?
Well, there is a grammar book that has a lot of inaccuracies. In some guy's beginner's grammar book, he says that Old Egyptian is the oldest division of Medu Neter. That is inaccurate. You clearly showed me in the Met Museum.
Primaries, right?
Artifacts, primaries, stone writing.
Can I ask you, how come when we look at these books, we never see primaries?
I'm not sure about.
Why do they say things and never show primaries? Why are they always quoting from people? Huh?
Maybe because they're followers and not real researchers.
Right.
Dr. Richetti told me to learn from you. That's why I do. That's why I come from Baltimore and out of the comfort of my city,
Yeah.
in which I was afraid, and I come here to learn from you. So
Yeah, it's just a university.
yeah.
Just a university. So now you're in a big city, right? This is what it looked like. All of you people know, right? We had a long day. We having a grown man's drink,
Yes, sir.
and we talking shop in the future, right? And we just having little chit chats about pseudo books and pseudo entertainment. But we'll see what they won't do on these other channels. See, they don't show you what it really is. They don't really show you. They don't really show you New York. They don't show you how it gets down and all of that.
Yeah.
They don't show you that. You know, I mean, we go from museums to the block. You know what I'm saying? Because you know why? Because we the North Such. You know what I'm saying? The North Such biddies. We look down on the people. You know, we look down on the people. We the people though. We the Rakit. We the communists.
Yeah.
Right? Well, we done graduated, right? Yeah. But what they want to show you, I don't know what they want to show you, but they never want to show you museums and stuff like that. Correct. You know, and that's why, you know, it just tires me from teaching, you know, because it's just the respect. You know, True. Some of those people who are out there, I took them to the museum. True. Right? They don't have no respect for me, my work. Right? And not only me, my teacher's work, because my teacher's work is Ben, Clark, Richetti, Obanga, yes. Carruthers, right? Jeffries, yes. Smalls, yes. Right? Those are my teachers, right? But they got no respect for my teachers, right? Of course they want to disrespect me, right? But I know I'm glad Neb came out. He snuck into New York City.
Let me say something. Impossible to disrespect Baba Reggie, who I call Dr. Reggie. I was referred to Baba Reggie. It's not something that I just went to him to try to get information. I was referred in school to go to him to learn. These are facts.
Yeah, from my teacher, right? Because she knew that if I could be helpful, I would be helpful, and she knows that I'm still connected to the greats, right? Because I come from her lineage, right? And she did not have to teach us. She didn't have to teach the lapwing, the Rekeats. She didn't have to teach us, but she did, and so it's just my responsibility. So I'm out here with nothing.
I want to mention one more thing. Baba Reggie is the one who taught me how to read from a museum, from the actual inscription. Okay, I learned that from Baba Reggie. And
we all learned that in class from Dr. Richetti. So going to the museum is just an extension of the class, and then once you take some of her classes, it all comes together. So if you really want to learn the meta nature, take Dr. Richetti's class, right? Take her students' class, right? Those are classes that you should take. You know why? Because you will understand completely ancient Kemet and why ancient Kemet was what it was, instead of people just making up stuff and who claim that they're students of the people. All the people who are out here discrediting work are students, not originators, are students of the greats, and they teach something totally different, and nobody verifies their work.
For example, Ryan Kemet.
Right. Oh, shoot.
People heard that Ryan Kemet was the language, the Egyptian language. I'm pretty sure we heard that when I checked in the actual inscription of Sanuhi, which actually Baba Reggie know about. When we look in the actual inscription, no Ramesh said that. So, I mean, a lot of things people say.
Yeah. You know, so, when was the first time that we know we have evidence of Rani Kemet? When is that?
Rani Kemet is 11th to 12th dynasty Sanuhi. That's the first time it ever was mentioned.
All right. So if it was created in that time period, what were the ancient Egyptians reading and writing prior to that? What was it called?
Medu Neter. We have inscriptions in Old Kingdom hieroglyphs. Well, not hieroglyphs, but Medu Neter. Old Kingdom. The Medu Neter. We've been calling it the Medu Neter since the Old Kingdom, since the Old Egyptian period. Right.
So they didn't say, when they said Jed, they didn't say Jed Rani Kemet.
Nope.
Right? They didn't say that was what. When they said they didn't say and Kemet, right? Because it's so asinine, so stupid, right? Because Kemet became popular in the 11th and 12th dynasty, particularly 12th dynasty. So how could it be the name of the language prior to that?
Correct.
Right? And so how could you even say that that's the name of it unless you're trying to push something? But now, if you're trying to push it, it means the language of, did you say Kemet? So it means language of the riparians, language of the River Valley people. See, they don't understand the geopolitical situation of ancient Kemet, right? They don't understand that African people were killing African people, right? And the resolution of it is to create a place name called after their cult practices, right? And their cult practices was talking about a sovereign and sacred, black, sovereign and sacred, right? And so that's what Kemet was. Kemet could be best described as sovereign, black, and sacred, right? So that's what the history says. That's not what some wordsmithing means. So anyway, I don't really like to talk about these people because you know what? They're not really irrelevant, right? If you want to read their books, listen, it's a free country, freedom of speech. You can read their work. But if you really want that work, won't you come to the museum? Right.
Baba Reggie.
Oh man, you don't even have to come with Brother Reggie. You can come with Netchaneb now. You can come with Netchaneb. Netchaneb would be bringing people from his city to the Met, and then we're gonna go to the Brooklyn Museum, and then we're gonna go maybe to the Penn Museum. We got a lot, maybe to the Boston Museum. We got a lot of museums. But check this out. What's their record, Netchaneb, of going to the museums? What's their record? Wait, you don't have to answer. They ain't really ain't got no record. They really ain't got no record.
Right.
And then, if they have the record, won't you bring out the early footage, right? Because the early footage would say whether or not what they can read or what they can't read, right? So bring out the early footage. Don't post-date it. Don't show me how great you are, Metaneta scholar thinking you are now. Show me where you were 4 or 5 years ago. And I say the contributions is people like ourselves and our teachers who helped them along their way, but now they want to be the experts.
Right.
They want to be experts. No, they're the children that just grown up and just changed from Pampers to big boy pants, right? But then they want to forget about the people, right, who gave them the Pampers. This is the big city, right? Right. This is the big city. This is how it gets down in New York. This is how it gets down in New York City, right? And again, you know, because we do it all. You know, we study, but you know, we also take time out for ourselves and our families and stuff like that. So, you know, we kind of like mix it up. So, peace to the fam, peace to the fam. Signing off, Nets Neb, New York City.
New York City, man.
100.